Hey everyone, welcome to the Brown Girl in Beijing podcast. It's a podcast about my Beijing life, and I'm your host, Dr. Baby. Hey everyone, welcome to season 2 of the Brown Girl in Beijing podcast. I am Dr. Baby, and we are back. And I know the question on everybody's mind: did we find a Beijing Bae? And the answer is, stay tuned.
I know you've been jamming with your crew. You got to leave, but that one last one through. I want to put another wine on you. I got that good. If I put it right there, would you wine on me? If I put it right there, would you wine on me? If I put it right there, would you wine on me? If I put it right there, would you wine on me?
All right, so let's just dive right in. The answer to the question is not really. I have a studio audience. And it is the first time that we've ever had a live studio audience in the studio with us. So this is a very strange occurrence right now. I also have my cat. We always have the cat though. I'm gonna hope that he doesn't bump the camera and make loud noises. Anyway, so let's go back to after the airing of the very first episode of the Brown Girl in Beijing podcast. So this goes back to February, mid-February, post-Valentine's Day. This friend of a friend, we began talking. We met late last year through a friend, and we began talking a little bit more, and he expressed an interest in being my backup bae. And so it would mean that we would hang out, go out, whatever, until I found somebody to fill the position permanently. And for me, I'm like, okay. I mean, that's literally all I wanted though. So sure, let's give it a go and let's see what happens. Now, I'll preface this by saying he wasn't my forever option. And I don't know, maybe in my head somewhere I had this idea that it could end amicably. But I'm guessing that you can guess by the tone of my voice and my facial expressions that it did not. So let's talk about what happened. So homie said he wanted to be the backup. He wasn't really looking for a relationship. And that was really red flag number 1. But you know what they say about red flags? You have enough and it looks like a carnival. It's a party. So, you know, we kept going. And so I had somebody to hang out with, break bread with. I'm on that side of town because I live in the West. I go over to the East. I'm like, hey, I'm in your area. I need to kill a couple of hours. What's up? What you got going on? Let's hang out. And so, you know, it worked for a bit. And one of the problems was I became too comfortable in my temporary situation. Now that is a word, all right? That is a word. You're just supposed to journey through. You don't wait on the way to your destination. You're supposed to keep going. So I got comfortable. You know, I wasn't really actively looking. I wasn't really on any dating sites anymore. Not like that. And I wasn't really trying to meet people when I would go out because I had a backup, right? Wrong. So now, you know, a couple weeks or so down the road, maybe about 2 months in or so, you know, because we had this running list of places that either one of us had not been to, and those were places that we would try. And so I would say like, oh, I'm feeling real date-ish, like let's go to this place. And it's like, oh, we'll go next month when I get paid. All right, cool. Or, oh, I'm feeling brunchish, like let's go to brunch. And his response was, you want me to go and pay for food that I can make myself? And I was just like, well, either you volunteer to make it yourself or you come to brunch. Like, we don't even have to have a discussion, friend. Like, what are you gonna do? He did neither of the options. And so, again, I'm like, okay, cool. I will go myself or find somebody else to go with, whatever. And so little things like that just started to add up and add up. I'm like, you're not really a backup, are you? Like, this doesn't make sense. And so a few months ago, his birthday was on a Sunday. And so a few months before his birthday, I sent him a message, was like, hey, do you want to do something for your birthday? Because if you do, like, I need to make sure that I'm free. And he said, oh, I think the girl is planning something. What girl? Who? Me? Because I'm not. I don't have anything planned. So I said, what girl? And he said, oh, this girl that I recently met. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Okay. And that was the last day that we spoke, for real. And I was blown because I was like, had I not mentioned anything about your birthday, would I have found out about this person? And the kicker is, she is somebody I know, somebody who runs in some of my circles. And so I get to see them together at random times when I expect it least. And so that's fun. And it just threw me for a loop. And again, I didn't think that this was going to be some forever situation, but I also did not think that it was going to end like this. And so when he sees me, he will walk up to me and just start carrying on conversation. And I'm just like, am I being punked? Why are we talking? It is very evident that we aren't even friends. It's evident by the fact that after this whole thing went down, you have not reached out to say anything. You have not answered the questions that I've asked. So what's happening right now? I just want to pause right here and say that while I don't condone violence or endorse it, watching this man basically on dates with this woman that I know, having to see that, I very much understand how women end up on Snapped. Like, I almost sympathize, not almost, I sympathize with Taraji on Acrimony. Because what? What? And you don't think that you did anything wrong? You think that we're good? You think that we're friends? We're not. We are not. Like, the only thing that is keeping me being pleasant is Jesus the Christ. That's all. And we praise God for Jesus. So yeah, that's how that went. I briefly went back on dating sites. Not worth it. Not worth it. If I am just single the rest of my life at this point, that's just where we are. So yeah, Beijing Bae was a dud. I'm sorry, guys. Let you down. Also let myself down, because why did I get comfortable? That's a journey for my therapist tonight. Moving on. What is this season going to be about? So really, the biggest theme of this season, or the overall theme of this season, is I tried to do a lot of things over the summer because as a teacher, I have a summer vacation. And I tried to make the most of it. I tried to be adventurous and active and show you guys that I do things outside of the studio, aka my apartment. However, things did not work out the way that I planned. And we will talk about why those things didn't work out the way that I had planned throughout the season. But we'll also talk about what I have done instead and how some of my adventures have sort of bled into the fall, which is where we are right now. And so what I really wanted to do over the summer was go to the beach. That was my number one thing. As you all know, I'm from the Bahamas, and we have beaches for days. And I did not realize how much I craved the beach until I realized that it had been a year and change since I'd been to a beach, and even longer since I'd been to a beach in the Bahamas. And so there are a couple of places that I can go in Beijing or close enough to the city. When I say close enough, I'm talking like maybe 2 or 3 hours by train that I could go to visit the beach. And so some of my other Caribbean friends like, oh, we could do a beach trip. So we started planning for that. Schedules couldn't sync up. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go by myself. So I intended to go the week before we went back to school, just for like 2 or 3 days. You know, just relax, get a little bit of sun, get a little bit of salt water, be rejuvenated, and be ready to go. And COVID said, absolutely not. COVID reared its ugly head like days before I would have booked a flight to go. I don't know if y'all can understand the depths of my disappointment after enduring all that I had endured all summer and not being able to do the one thing that was like number one on my list, not being able to do that. Man, I was hurt, okay? Beyond measure. And so that was that. I couldn't go anywhere. School was starting, and we had this rule because of COVID, because of new cases, that you had to have been in the city in Beijing in a low risk area for maybe, I think, 14 to 21 days prior to the start date of school. And so there was really no chance for me to leave to go anywhere. So that was a bummer. And so instead, I've done a couple of things, to try to lift my spirits and to try to keep going, because I have been a little bit homesick. The last time I was home was actually 2 years ago, in October and November of 2019. And since then, I had planned to see my family a few times, and it couldn't happen because of COVID. And so I've just been sort of running on fumes. And don't get me wrong, I have a great support system here. Love, love, love the people that I've been introduced to through work and through church and through other social circles. But nothing beats family, right? Nothing beats being with mommy and daddy. And there's this newness that happens when I come home to visit. So for the first 2 or 3 days, mommy makes me breakfast. She might even bring it upstairs while I'm in bed, and then after that, she's like, fend for yourself. And then daddy, comes and sits down and it's just like, tell me everything. Tell me what's going on in your life. And you miss that. You don't realize that you're going to miss it when you're in the moment. Because in the moment, when my daddy walks into my room, I'm just like, what's happening? What are we doing? What mental space do I need to be in right now? But now I don't have it. And it would be nice. It would be nice. So going through all of those motions, or emotions, dealing with all of that, it would have been nice to go to the beach to have just a moment to recharge. But I didn't get that. So it was a little bit of a bummer, like I said. But we have done some other things instead. And so one of the new things that I am trying this season, and you guys let me know if it works or does not work. So this is specifically for YouTubers. I tried IGTV. It does not like me very much, so I'm sorry. But for YouTubers, I am going to do special episodes. I already have one up that I posted on the 20th of October, our visit to the UFO glass platform bridge. It's not really a bridge, just a platform, glass platform. And myself, 3 friends, we went on this hike. It was a hike, y'all, a hike. I do not hike. That was brutal on my body. Anyway, that aside, went on a hike and it was so beautiful, even on an overcast day. It was so beautiful. And so myself and Hilbert, one of my friends, we recorded. Zion recorded a little bit. Kaylee was like the star of the show. We did this, recorded, and we put it together, made a little video. It's maybe about 26 or so minutes long, but I think that you'll enjoy it if you have not watched it already. Or if you have watched it, watch it again. I think you will enjoy it. So that's one of the things that we did, or that I did. And what I'm hoping is that as I do more in the city, I can record more of what, you know, like daily life looks like and put that together for you so that you're sort of outside of the studio more. Because I know that that's one of the things when I asked in the first season, what do you want to see more of? A friend said, you know, I want to see what's outside. I want to see what's in the streets. I want to see you, you know, take us to the grocery store. Problem is, I don't really go to the grocery store. I just order online and have it delivered. But I understand what you mean. And so I'm trying to do that for you. So hopefully there will be more shorts like that. And I'll try to make them a little bit shorter so they can be sort of quick watches, quick glimpses into my life. So yeah, to summarize so far, no to the Beijing Bae. No to the summer plans. Yes to special adventures for YouTubers. For those of you who only listen to the podcast and you don't watch, there's something that I'm planning on for the new year that I'm hoping will come to fruition. So bear with me and pray with me, pray for me. Y'all, life is lifey. Like, it can be a lot sometimes and overwhelming. And just the past 2 months, I just feel like I have not had enough time to breathe. But we'll talk about more of that as well in later episodes. I had also intended to like record episodes of season 2 so that I could start like right in the fall. Also did not happen. Like, I sort of know what I did with my summer, and you will find out. But I look back and it is just such a blur. And you know what? My devotion this morning, like, we have plans as man, many other plans in a man's heart, but God just has his own plan. He has his own timeline. So it's just, this summer was just a big blur for me. We'll unpack the blur together, honestly. And if you are wondering, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad. Yes, these are Christmas trees behind me because in my head, it's Christmas already. And that's the thing that's keeping me going, okay? It's gonna be Christmas until my birthday, which is January 16th, all right? So, you know, if you don't like Christmas, all right, don't rain on my parade. This is what I need to keep me going, to get me to the new year. So, a little piece of chill hit is Christmas, boo, all right? We've been listening to Christmas music. I love new artists drop their Christmas music usually towards the end of October. So, and I don't celebrate Halloween. And I'm from the Bahamas. Thanksgiving is a thing, but it's not really a thing. We've like harvest. That's the whole like season. So let me have this. All right, let me have this. I think that's all for today. I'm not gonna bend your ear anymore. So y'all be blessed. Love you with the love of the Lord. And I'm signing out. XOXO, Dr. Baby.
Put it right there. Would you wind up?
Thanks for listening, guys. See you next time for another Brown Girl in Beijing episode. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. See you next time.
Would you wind on me?